Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Episode number 415, Drink Until You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. I'm going to try my very, very best not to cough and hack and wheeze on this podcast. I'm just turning the corner on being sick for the past couple of days. So I'm drinking a little 100 proof rum. Hopefully that helps kill any infection. I don't know if that's true. We're just going with it anyway. If you got them drinking, bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. It's been so annoying, dude. This is one of my, I cannot stand it when I have something it's like an upper respiratory infection or something. But, you're laying there and you're trying to sleep, and every exhale you have to hear a wheeze at the end of it. Dude, that drives me nuts. So I've been sleeping with headphones on so I don't have to hear my own wheezing. I think if it were loud, because dude, I can listen to fucking heavy music while going to sleep. You know what I mean? You name it, I can listen to it, and it doesn't bother me at all. I actually enjoy it. But I think it's just the subtleness of the wheezing. It's just so light that when you're trying to fall asleep, it just bugs the shit out of me. Just that little, every freaking time you breathe, dude. I was kind of laughing at myself too, because I was thinking about, I just happened to watch this old school cartoon the other day that I haven't seen in so long. And it's basically where there's a dog and an owner, and they're going out hunting the next morning, and they're after a certain rabbit. It's not Bugs Bunny, it's just kind of a one-off cartoon. But, so the rabbit knows this, and in order to try to preserve himself, keep himself safe, he's fucking with the dog all night long, trying to keep the dog awake. So by the time when the sun starts coming up in the morning and they go out to go hunting, the dog's going to just be so damn tired, it's not going to know what to do. So that's what the rabbit does all night. It's banging on shit and moving shit around and leaving the faucet on. Dude, that's one of my favorites, the faucet dripping onto the pot in the sink. Every time it hits the pot, the water hits the pot, the dog's ears perk up in rhythm. Oh man, it's so great. So anyway, the rabbit's up all night messing with the dog. By the time the morning comes, the owner's let's get up, we gotta go, we gotta catch that rabbit. And the dog's just exhausted. Even though he does get up, he does go with the owner. He's there it is, there's the rabbit hole, go down that rabbit hole, get the rabbit. Dog digs his way down there, finds the rabbit in a corner, and the rabbit's, sleeping because he's been up all night just fucking with the dog. And he kind of lifts one eye, looks at the dog looks exhausted, and the next scene is them laying together, sleeping because they're both exhausted from, basically having this war all night of, trying to sleep. That's basically how I was. I was kind of laughing at myself, trying to sleep and getting frustrated just with my wheezing. It's bugging the shit out of me. But anyways, we are turning a corner. I'll tell you guys what I've been watching, dude. I have been jonesing for some UFC, and I don't think there's an event until maybe next weekend, maybe the weekend after. BKFC 2, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That's Conor McGregor's promotion. I guess he has part stake in. None of that. I know Holly Holm boxed last night. I did not watch that, but I hope she did well. So what I've been watching is a lot of MVP highlights, Michael Venom Page highlights, and it just solidifies how much I love this guy. He's awesome, dude. I've actually, you wouldn't think it just by his style, his point karate, taekwondo / point karate style. You wouldn't think it, but he's actually submitted a couple of people too. I can't remember the dude who it was that he was fighting, but the other guy actually initiated the takedown, and he's kind of like squirming around with Page on the ground there, and Michael Venom Page actually comes out with a heel hook of some sort. I can't remember exactly what it was, and submits the dude. And you're just like, the other fight he had that was cracking me up. This is like a famous highlight of his, and I'm sure you've all seen it before. He did like this jumping flying knee and just absolutely timed it perfectly with the dude rushing in and just fucking nail. I think he broke the dude's skull too. Like he shattered his orbital bone. And, of course, like that guy takes the hit, he falls face down. He's kind of like kicking his legs, like, I'm sure it fucking hurt. Yeah, of course. And fucking MVP puts on a red Pokemon hat and like gloves. What's the kid's name in Pokemon? Ashton. He puts on the hat and the gloves, and while this dude is face down on the mat after having his skull damn near crushed, Michael Venom Page puts on this costume and fucking rolls a Pokeball. He rolls a Pokeball across the octagon at his opponent. Dude, it was one of the most funny / disrespectful things I've ever seen in my life. Obviously I'm laughing because of what he's doing, but it's disrespectful because he just absolutely I can't remember that guy's. I can picture his face too. I can't remember his name, but I think that ended his career. And this dude had been in the fight game for a long time, if I'm remembering the right guy correctly. But yeah, just the disrespect, dude. And I totally get it. It's like after the fight, dude, he'll be disrespectful as fuck, or he'll like he'll be like dancing or something because he just won, and then he'll come and shake your hand afterward. Dude, it's just, I get it. I finally figured out what it is. And I, naturally I do this when I play video games online. You're playing with other people, and of course, sometimes the nastiness starts and you start talking shit back and forth. But my thing is, I will talk some mad, crazy shit to you while we're playing the game. Just like trying to piss you off or whatever, whatever we're talking about, just trying to be silly or goofy or whatever. I will talk some crazy shit during the game, but as soon as the game's as soon as the game's over, I'll tell you good game. If I was there in person, I'd shake your hand too. You know what I mean? But that's what it's all about. Like, I get it. A lot of people don't like MVP for the fact that he is cocky. He is arrogant. He is a showboater. You know what I mean? But that's all part of the game, dude. Like, once that fight's over, he's a great guy. But you better believe while I'm playing my game or while he's doing his fight, he's going to do everything in his power to get in your head. You know what I mean? To make you have a bad fight. That's only going to work out in his favor. Sorry if I'm bumping the mic too, by the way. Doing a listen back of last episode. I don't know what I was doing. It just sounded like I was playing with a piece of like steel wool over the microphone. I don't know what was happening, but anyways. But yeah, I can totally see why people wouldn't like him. You think he's cocky and arrogant, and he is. But he's respectful. Once the fight's over, win or lose, he's going to shake your hand. It's just all, it's just all part of the fight game. It's just all part of gaming online. You know what I mean? If you can psych your opponent out, that's a lot of the battle right there anyway. So, anyway, give me 1 second. Sorry, I tried to cover the mic there. So, anyways, moving on. Been watching a lot of MVP, like I said, And I've been really wanting to get into Yellowstone. I've heard that's a good show. Obviously, I know everybody's watching that lately. I might have touched on this last week, but there is a chronological order to things. If you do want to watch it in a certain order. Where did it go? And I was looking up this list. I literally just had it. I don't understand. What is it? 1886, I think, is the first one. Oh yeah, sorry. Here it is. It's 1883. Then you would watch 1923. Then 1944. Then Yellowstone. Then a show called 6666, which I don't think is out yet. And then another show, which they're working on, called The Madison. That's technically the chronological order of the show. But I was kind of talking to a friend about it, and he's seen a lot of these shows. And he recommended that I start with Yellowstone. He's like, dude, if you start with 1883, you're going to be so bored. You might not finish it. He's like, it's not a bad show. It's just, it makes sense with the rest of it. So he was like, you need to watch Yellowstone first, and then that'll, you'll basically give a shit about what's going on in all the other shows, the 1883, the 1923, the 1944, which you guys know I have started 1923, and I do really, I really like it. But yeah, I'm kind of rethinking it now. I had a plan to, like I said, just go chronologically. But now I'm kind of rethinking it. I might do Yellowstone first and then start it chronologically. I wouldn't watch Yellowstone all the way through again, obviously, being fresh on my mind. But it would go Yellowstone, 1883, 1923, 1944, 6666, then the Madison. I just love how shows do this, man. I love how they're creating their whole, universe pretty much. I know those cop shows were doing it back in the day. They probably still are. CSI and all that stuff. They would do the CSI, but then they would have Chicago Fire and Chicago PD, and all those characters would kind of interact on each other's shows, just making the universe of that CSI world just feel so much better and interconnected and so much bigger, So I think a lot of these shows now, I mean, obviously we're all learning from each other. You watch the Office, and then you come out with Parks and Recreation. You're going to have you're going to have learned a lot from The Office on how to make Parks a good show. You know what I mean? So I love how they're doing that. Movies I'm trying to watch right now. I'm trying to see the Sisu, the second one. I haven't seen that yet. I'm super excited. I love the first one. I talked about this a few episodes back. I just love the pace of that movie. A lot can be happening without a lot being said. I live for that shit. You know what I mean? Let me as the viewer figure out the story, or let me as the viewer imagine what it might be, without having to tell me. I like that. I like that so much more. That just kind of leaves it ambiguous. Am I right in what I'm thinking as the viewer? Is this what the director had in mind, or is it something completely different? I mean, that's kind of fascinating, right? So yeah, Sisu's on the list. I just watched kind of in and out. Like I said, I have been sick, so I, was kind of in and out while I was watching the movie. The Holy Trinity. I didn't really grasp, I guess, every little detail of the movie, just for, like I said, I was kind of in and out. But dude, what I did grasp was, not Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, dude, he just brings no matter what movie he's in, he just gets to bring Samuel L. Jackson. Like that's amazing to me. Like he's built his empire on being Samuel L. Jackson. You know what I mean? And that's pretty amazing. Like he plays, I don't want to say the same character because it's not, there's obviously differences, but he always brings himself as the, I don't know how to explain it. I just love it. I love it. It's like when he's in a movie, I want to watch all the scenes with him in it or rewatch the scene that dude, it was awesome. Oh yeah, that's what it was about. It was, Samuel L. Jackson was a slave back in the day. I guess the other character in the movie, his father gave him his freedom, and they actually had a business partnership where they buried a bunch of gold, I guess that they had stolen together. And that's basically what the movie's about. The son comes back looking for someone who killed his father, only to find out the guy who killed his father is already dead. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie, dude. I would definitely, that's how you can tell it's a good movie, is if you don't really even get the full picture, but you're intrigued enough to like go back and want to watch it again. I would definitely watch it again. It was pretty good. So anyways, my throat's getting a little dry. Let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. All right. What else? Tons of hockey, dude, of course. Tons and tons of hockey. I touched on this last week. You know how the Avalanche are just doing so well this regular season, leading a lot of us to believe that they're going to win the President's Trophy, which goes to the team with the most overall points in the regular season. The only thing I was bringing up last week was that might actually work in my Stars' favor, just for the simple fact that majority of the time the President Trophy winning team does not win the Stanley Cup. And looking it up further, there's only been 8 NHL teams to have won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup in the same season. Well, the way it typed it says Presidences. Only 8 NHL teams have won the President's Trophy. It's supposed to be Presidents. So yeah, only 8 teams, dude. That's pretty. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. Clearly, it's not impossible. 8 teams have done it, but it seems to be pretty rare. Which I will take that any day of the week, just with how well the Avalanche are playing. They did it again last night. Dude. The Hurricanes were throwing everything at the Avalanche. And the Hurricanes had a great game. Aho had a great game. It just still was not enough to beat the Avalanche in regulation. And I love the throwback jerseys they were wearing last night. The Carolina Hurricanes with the Hartford Whaler jerseys. And the Avalanche with the Quebec Nordique jerseys. That was pretty cool. But yeah, dude, they're just, damn, you can't beat them in regulation, dude. And just watching that game last night, like Carolina had such a great chance. Carolina actually took the lead late in the third, maybe 6 minutes left, something like that. Maybe it was a little more. Maybe it was like 13 minutes, but still, lead late in the third. Most teams, you just, sit on your defense, grind it out, you win the game, you get the 2 points, but not with Colorado on the other side, dude. Like it amazes me how frustrated Nathan McKinnon looks every fucking game he plays. He looks like they've lost 10 in a row, dude. Like he slammed his stick against the glass in last night's game out of frustration. It's like, dude, I mean, I guess that's a good thing if you're an Avalanche player. You're like, this guy just wants to win all the time. which is cool, but like at a certain point, isn't that like detrimental? Especially if you lose a couple, then you're gonna start getting pissed at your teammates. Then you got turmoil in the locker room. He just always looks pissed. He always looks pissed. Like, dude, smile a little bit, man. You're one of the greatest players in the NHL. Have fun with it. To which I'm sure he would say, well, winning is fun, Chris. I like to win, and if I don't win, I get pissed. And which I would say to him, I understand that. I don't have an argument for that. I get it, Sir McKinnon. So anyway, yeah, tons of good hockey there. Panthers versus the Caps. That was a pretty good back and forth seesaw game. Let's see. I think the Panthers actually, the Panthers actually win that game. That was so back and forth, dude. I was cracking up though because during that game, the Panthers and the Capitals, they called something on Ovi, and he's like trying to argue it and standing there like near center ice where the ref makes the announcement to the arena what the call is. And Ovi, while the ref's sitting there making the call, Ovi is still standing there arguing with him as the guy's on the mic over the arena. I was like, dude, only Ovi can get away with something like that. You know what I mean? Just standing there arguing while the guy's making an announcement. And the refs basically like, dude, once I say it to the stadium, you're going in the penalty box. Like it's over. Like it's official at that point, you know? So yeah, Panthers win that one. They take the lead late in the third, 4-3. Caps, of course, pull the goalie to try to get the equalizer. They do not. Who else? Shin got a puck to the face for the Blues when I was watching that game. That did not look fun. Hope he's okay. I haven't heard anything. Oh yeah, this one too. Tom Wilson watching the Caps game last night, going off the ice, being a little ginger on one of his legs. That kind of worries me, dude. For him, I've torn my ACL before in my life, and I know what your knee looks like as soon as you tear it. And I'm just hoping that's not what happened to him, because he will miss a lot if that's the case. So anyways, back to Buffalo. The Sabres just on an unreal streak. And I just have to say this, dude. I am so happy for Lindy Ruff. I know they had like a management change, the Buffalo Sabres did recently. I think that was on December 15th. And supposedly, this new guy is coming and just kicked ass, dude. Like, they look like a completely different team. They come in, they beat my Dallas Stars for their 10th win in a row. And I was kind of funny because I was talking to my friend at work, and she's just a huge Buffalo fan in general, Buffalo sports, as I am a Dallas sports fan. But I really was feeling it, dude. I went in talking shit like, hey, man, your streak's over. You're playing like the number 2 team in the league tonight. Blah, 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 blah. And sure enough, we scored in that game in like 15 seconds into the game. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm sitting there watching the game like, oh, yeah, we got this. Like, I'm ready to text my friend and be like, uh-oh, it's not, whatever. I don't say anything to her. Finish the game, and we end up losing the game. That was their 10th win in a row, which sucked. But I went, as soon as I go into work Monday morning, I rip the Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as she comes in, I'm like, well, and she's like, I told you we were going to lose. But yeah, it was still, I don't know what they're feeding those boys up there. But Buffalo's doing their thing. They do lose last night to Columbus, so that snaps their winning streak, which if they could have just pulled it off last night, that would have been a new franchise record. No other Sabres team has won 11 in a row. 10 in a row I think it's been done 3 other times. So that kind of sucks. They didn't get their 11. They didn't set the franchise record. But, dude, look at what they did in the span of like 2 weeks. What are they in, like third or fourth place after being, I'm not even kidding you, dude. Go listen to like 5 or 6 episodes ago. And I'm like looking at the standings and I'm like, Jesus, Buffalo's never, they're just last place every season. But like I said, I didn't realize how tight the Atlantic was, man. People are only separated by a point or two, if that. There was like a 3-way tie there for a good minute with the Sabres. I can't remember who else in that division, but yeah, there was like a 3-way tie going on there. So yeah, overall, Tage Thompson gets named to the Olympic hockeys, and I'm happy for him. You know who didn't get named to the Olympic hockeys is my boy Jason Robertson. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and it's really not even that scary to go out on this limb. And I can tell you this without even looking, dude. There are at least 2 other American players that Robertson, at least 2 other American players that Robertson could have taken place of. Just statistically, looking at Brady Tkachuk's lifetime statistics versus Jason Robertson's lifetime statistics, Jason Robertson's the better player. He just is in less games. Like, you can argue with me if you want, but it is what it is. I looked it up. But, yeah, without even looking at the roster, I can tell you he could have at least replaced 2 of those, or one of those guys on that roster that aren't as good as him. He could have, like I said, even with Brady Tkachuk, he could have replaced Brady Tkachuk, and you would have a better player in Brady's place. Now, I understand you don't replace a good player for another good equal or greater good player. Therefore, Brady should be on the team, Robertson should be on the team, and take one of those other guys who hasn't done what Robertson's been doing off the team. It doesn't make any sense to me. I saw someone say, and I do honestly hope this happens too, I saw someone say if there's an injury, he plays left wing, if there's an injury and an opportunity for Robertson to be called up to Team USA and they do call him up, I hope he rejects him. I really, really do. Not to say it wouldn't be an honor to play for Team USA, but after the way it's clearly a who you know club. Both the Tkachuk boys are in there, which I like both of them. I like Brady a little less, but yeah, it's like if they weren't brothers, like I said, you don't replace one good player for another, but you could, I'm just totally shocked that they didn't put Robertson on this on Team USA. I can't believe it. It's like, what does he have to do to get on the team? But at this point, after this streak he went on this season and how well he's playing, and they still didn't let you on a team, fuck them, dude. Fuck them. It's obviously a club, like I said. It's all about who you know. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Dude, and it's so funny, man. Like, Robertson's such a great goal scorer. Are we really going to have a chance with Canada anyway? But if we did have a chance, don't you think Robertson would get you closer in the goals department? Dude, what if you lose by a single goal? It's like that one player could have made all the difference. But it is what it is. They've already settled it. And you know what? It actually works out to something I've always said, and I say this every year: All-Star Game, Olympics, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want any of my Dallas Stars or any of my guys, whether Texas Rangers or whatever. I don't want any of my guys a part of that, because that's how you get hurt. People are playing for a country at this point too, so people aren't going to hold back. You're not sandbagging during the Olympics. You know, you're going full fucking force. And I've always had a problem with that because then my players are going to come back hurt, and we had a good season going, and I'm actually really against them being on, you know, the all-star teams and the Olympic teams. But we don't have to worry about it. I would just say to Robertson, put all that irritation, all that anger, if there is any, into this season as a Dallas Star. And I think you've already proven why you should have been on the team, but I think you can really put the nail in the coffin by having an amazing season. And when they come knocking next season or next time the Olympics is here, and they see what you've done over the course of your career, and they come knocking to have you on the team, I mean, it's really his choice, you know. It's really his choice. So anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for listening. Episode number 415, Drink It Till You podcast, the only podcast that lasts to the last drop. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Treat yourself to a Waymo. It's coming up here in Dallas soon. I'm excited for it. But anyways, let's go ahead and have our last drinks. If you got them, drink them bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I'll work on healing up. I'll be on Twitch here later. Stars are coming on at 1. But yeah, I will talk to you guys next week. I love you all. Be safe out there. Bye.